Hopping a freight out of Los Angeles at high noon one day in late September 1955, I got on a gondola and lay down with my duffel bag under my head and my knees crossed and contemplated the clouds as we rolled north to Santa Barbara. It was a local, and I intended to sleep on the beach at Santa Barbara that night and catch either another local to San Luis Obispo the next morning or the first-class freight all the way to San Francisco at 7 p.m. Somewhere near Camarillo, where Charlie Parker had been mad and relaxed back to normal health, a thin old little bum climbed into my gondola as we headed into a siding to give a train right of way, and looked surprised to see me there. He established himself at the other end of the gondola and lay down, facing me, with his head on his own miserably small pack, and said nothing. By and by, they blew the highball whistle after the eastbound freight had smashed through on the main line, and we pulled out as the air got colder and fog began to blow from the sea over the warm valleys of the coast. Both the little bum and I, after unsuccessful attempts to huddle on the cold steel and wraparounds, got up and paced back and forth and jumped and flapped arms at each our end of the gong. Pretty soon we headed into another siding in a small railroad town, and I figured I needed a poor-boy of Tokay wine to complete the cold dust run to Santa Barbara. Will you watch my pack while I run over there and get a bottle of wine? Sure thing. I jumped over the side and ran across Highway 101 to the store and bought, besides wine, a little bread and candy. I ran back to my freight train, which had another 15 minutes to wait from the now warm, sunny sea. But it was late afternoon and bound to get cold soon. The little bum was sitting cross-legged at his end before a pitiful repast of one can of sardines. I took pity on him and went over and said, "How about a little wine to warm you up? Maybe you'd like some bread and cheese with your sardines." "Sure thing." He spoke from far away inside a little mean voice box, afraid or unwilling to assert himself.
I bought the cheese 3 days ago in Mexico City before the long, cheap bus trip across Zacatecas, Durango, and Chihuahua, 2,000 long miles to the border in El Paso.
He ate the cheese and bread and drank the wine with gusto and gratitude. I was pleased. I reminded myself of the line in the Diamond Sutra that says, "Practice charity without holding in mind any conceptions about charity, for charity, after all, is just a word."
Practice charity without holding in mind any conceptions about charity, for charity, after all, is just a word.